Hey guys, and welcome back into the channel. And today we're going to be doing yet another Big Brother video. But I got to admit, this is a video, in my opinion, that is much more important than the previous Big Brother videos that we've been doing, because this video is in a video that is going to be talking about the future of the television series, the future of this summer. Obviously, this summer was supposed to be Big Brother season 22. A lot of speculation about the season, whether it would happen or whether it wouldn't happen. What kind of cast would we have? Would we have returnees? Would we have, an all brand new cast? Just a lot of uncertainty surrounding the season, whether there'd be one at all. And at this point, and again, this is all speculation, but at this point, we've gotten pretty convincing responses as to whether there'd be a season or not. And it appears at this point that there will be a season. And that's, it's great news. We all are happy to hear that, obviously. But to make it even better, the big time rumor out there, the big time opinion, it seems to be, is that it will be an All-Stars cast. It'll be a returning season, a returning players season. A lot of speculation, a lot of talk about Big Brother's All-Stars 2. Obviously, there hasn't been an All-Star season since season 7, which was what? I think it was 2006. So we're talking nearly 15 years ago. And I got to admit, I'm super excited about it. And this video is basically, it's going to be some sort of a combination. I've seen a lot of people out there making videos on their dream cast, and I see a lot of people making videos on what they believe the cast will be. And I decided that when I thought about it, it was like, okay, well, I could make a video about who my dream cast would be. Who do I want to see come back? And I thought to myself, that'd be fun, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a total waste of time. Because, I'm going to sit here and name people like a Dr. Will, who's probably not going to come back. I guess I can't say that it's impossible, but it's not likely. I haven't heard that rumor at all. And it just, to me, it wouldn't make a lot of sense as to why he would do that. Unless they raise the winner, if the winner got, double the money or something, maybe. Or if they did a legend season. But just strictly an All-Star season 2, I wouldn't anticipate Will coming back. So I decided a dream cast, in my opinion, would be a little bit of a waste of time. And then I also thought about, okay, well, then I can just do my opinions on who's coming back. Predict everyone that I think is going to come back to be part of the 16-person cast. And I thought to myself, well, fuck, I've seen a lot of rumors out there about who's coming back. And if I do that type of video, I'm going to want to commit suicide after I do it because I'm going to be in depression. Like that, some of the names I've seen, which this should be a whole separate video, but some of the names I've seen for a potential All-Star 2 cast just blows my fucking mind. I mean, I got to admit, and when I put this list together, which I'll get to here in a second, when I'm done with my fucking rant, when you get to an All-Stars cast, if that's what they're going to call it, if they are going to call it All-Stars 2, in my opinion, there's two things, and you better have at least one of them if you're going to be considered an All-Star. You either better be a great fucking player, a great strategist, just a dynamic player in the game. That's one of the things. Or two, you better be a gigantic personality. You better be unbelievably entertaining. You better have, just unbelievable moments throughout the show. Even if they're not great strategy-wise, they better at least be entertaining as hell for the viewing audience. If you don't meet at least one of those two criterias, then you are not an all-star. And the fact that I've seen some of the names thrown out here, like I saw Raven on numerous different accounts being talked about as a potential returnee. Raven, what the fuck was she memorable for? I don't remember nothing about her other than she looked weird and she was really pale. That's the only thing I remember about her. And she had that relationship with that one I don't remember his name, Matt, I think was his name. Unbelievably forgettable. She's not an all-star. If she's an all-star, let's just bring back anybody. Let's bring back Cheryl from BB2, right? Let's bring back anybody. Then I saw Brittany Martinez from 16. I don't have as much of a problem with her as Raven. But again, how is Brittany from season 16 memorable? Or in any way an all-star? Because to be an all-star, I should be able to remember a lot about you. Brittany Martinez from 16. I remember only one thing about her, and that's the fact that there was a week where Devin didn't want to vote her out because they both had kids. That's the only thing I remember about her. I remember nothing else about Brittany Martinez from season 16, and I've watched season 16 at least 2 or 3 separate times. She's not an all-star. So I just had to quickly rant about that. I've seen some terrible names thrown out there. But that's enough of that. Let's get to my cast here. Again, this is a combination of my dream cast and a combination of that with who I actually think could come back, who I actually think will come back. It's a combination of the two, and as I go through the names, I'll kind of give you, with each name, where they fall in line with. In terms of this Big Brother 22 cast and what I think and hope we see, we'll start with the boys. I will admit the guys for me were a lot easier. For my 8 guys, it was a lot easier for me to pick these people out. For the girls, I struggled, to be quite honest with you. And with this cast, I primarily focused from Big Brother 16 to now. Just because I think if you look back at Big Brother, the first Big Brother All-Stars, it just makes sense that they wouldn't want to cast many people from years and years and years ago. Do I think that's a good thing? Do I agree with that? Do I like that? No. But I think that's the most likely scenario, as you will get a cast littered with people from the last 5 years. That's just how I think CBS will choose to do it. I wouldn't mind being wrong, but I'm just going to go with the assumption that that's probably what they do. And we're going to start with the boys, like I said. So the first person I have coming back to Big Brother All-Stars 2 from season 16, it's a name that's been floated around on, from numerous different people. It's a name that some people have even said is confirmed already, which I don't completely buy that, but we'll go with the assumption that he will be back. And we all hope he's going to be back, and that's Derek from Big Brother 16. Obviously considered in the big 3 of the greatest players of all time with Dan and Will. But the difference between Dan and Will and Derek is the fact that they've played 2 times while Derek has only played 1. So I think it's fitting that he comes back, gets his opportunity to play a second time, gets his opportunity to completely cement himself as one of the greatest of all time. And I would love to see him back. He's not the most, in my opinion, the most entertaining guy to watch. He wasn't the greatest in the DR by any fucking stretch. He wasn't, honestly, I thought he was terrible in the DR, but he was an unbelievable player, unbelievable strategy. Never was in danger his entire season, and I would be excited to see him come back just to see, could he pull it off again? Obviously, him being an undercover cop has now been exposed. He can't hide behind that anymore. Can't say he was a park and recs coordinator, where the fuck he said in BB16, but I would love to see him back. I really hope we see him back, and I do think we will see him back. My second guy I have coming back for BB 22 is a person we've seen quite a fucking bit in the last few years, and that's Paul for BB, 18 and 19, I believe. It was a guy who's gotten second place 2 different times. I know a lot of people are sick of him. I fucking stand that. Believe me, there's aspects of him that I don't want to see back. But I just feel like if you were going to call it BB All-Stars 2, and particularly if you're going to call it that and take guys from recent seasons, Paul has to be there. If Paul's not there, don't call it BB All-Stars 2, because it's not BB All-Stars without Paul. Whether you like him or not, those 2 categories I talked about a minute ago that you have to fit into to be an All-Stars player, he fits in both. I don't think he was a perfect player, but he definitely wasn't a bad player. You don't get second twice if you're terrible at the game. He was definitely better the second time, but he's a definitely above average player, and he's a great personality on the show. He's very entertaining. And again, whether you like him or don't like him, kind of like the same with wrestling, he gets a reaction, and that's the most important thing. People love him, people hate him, but everyone has a fucking opinion on Paul. No one just says, "Oh, Paul, I don't care," like they would with Brittany or Raven. I'm so upset about those 2 names being floated around, but whatever. Paul should be back, will be back. I think we will see Paul again for a 3rd time in the last, 4 or 5 years. And then we got my third person, Tyler from Big Brother 20, a person that completely dominated his season, one of the best players we've seen, I think, since BB 16 and Derek. Fuck that, the best player we've seen since BB 16. Because season he completely dominated. He was entertaining as hell. I didn't love the little showmance he gets in, which is still going on. Congrats to him, I suppose. But I didn't like that. But if you take the Angela showmance out, I loved him as a player. I thought, again, he was a person that was great strategy-wise, and he also was very entertaining. He whether he was doing the big moves or not, he was involved in so many big moments in Big Brother 20. And again, just like Paul, if you're going to call it BB All-Stars 2, Tyler has to be in the house. Make it happen, CBS. My fourth person is a person that I think a lot of people are going to be upset when I say this guy. There's aspects of him I don't want to see back, but again, there's aspects that I do want to see of him back, and I think he was an underrated player. I think he was pretty good in the game, and that's from BB16, Frankie Grande. I know, guys, you're pissed at me right now. People are throwing shit at their screens. People are upset at me, but I got to say, he was, outside of Derek, he was arguably the second or third best player on BB16. He's a big personality. I know a lot of people got, tired of him throughout the course of the season. I understand that. But he's a big personality. He was definitely an above average player. I think he would want to come back. His name's been floated around. They're going to have he's going to have a great opportunity to come back on the season. I think he'd be good to watch. I would like to watch him play a second time. So Frankie Grande comes onto my cast. Number 5, also from BB16, I promise we'll stop at the BB16s here soon, and that's Donnie Thompson, one of the most beloved house guests in BB history. I, again, don't think you can have a BB All-Stars cast without him, as long as he wants to come back. If he wants to come back, he's got to be brought back. There's, in my opinion, it has to be done. You know, he wins America's Player by one of the biggest margins of all time. He was loved. There's not another guy like him. He's a very unique person in terms of, you know, the type of personality he had. That what he brought to the show was very unique. You can't just go out and find another Donnie. They don't grow on trees, and I think he'd be a great person to bring back for an All-Stars 2. My 6th person is a person that, at first, I had a problem with putting this person on the list because of the fact that he goes out, I think, it's second week. You know, so he was a really early eviction. But I was like, you know, he was a great personality, and I think he got blindsided. I don't think he was a terrible player, and I think he could do a pretty good job, maybe, if he comes back again, and that's Swaggy C from BB20. I think he comes back strictly for 2 reasons. One, because of his relationship with a girl that I'm going to list here pretty soon. I think CBS loved their showmance. And 2, because he was a massive personality in the house. And I think that he's the rare case of a person that went out super early who I do think you could bring back and not have it be just stupid as hell on an All-Stars cast. Swaggy C will be back, I believe, in the Big Brother house this summer. 7th person, and this person out of all the guys is the one I least want to see back. I really don't have much to say about him. I didn't enjoy his game. Yes, he won, but I did not like him, and that's Josh from BB19. I have him on the list just simply because I think he's going to be back. Whether I want to see him or not, I think he's back in the BB house this summer. There you go, Josh. Don't want you there, but I think you will be there, so you're on the list. And number 8 is the person that, when I say this, I about have tears come to my fucking eyes. This is the one person that's prior to BB16, and this may be wishful thinking. I have heard his name floated around a little bit. You know, I do think he would come back. I really do. He loves Big Brother. And that's Dan Giesling from Season 10 and Season 14. This is a guy who's played twice, but we've seen numerous people playing, you know, have played 3 times. A Janelle's played 3 times. A Mike Boogie's played 3 times. A Paul, if I'm right, is going to play it 3 times. So why can't Dan Giesling come back and play a 3rd time? He'd get to go up against another great in Derek. And it could be a battle. I mean, some people will say Will, but it could be a battle between those two to find out who the greatest of all time is. Dan loves the game. He loves the show. I definitely think he'd be willing to come back. So again, I think this one is one of the least likely of the people on this, you know, list of people, but he's the one I most want to see. And because I don't think it's impossible, like I think a Will comeback is, I had to put him on here. Dan Giesling back for Big Brother 22. Please God. But that's it for my 8 guys. Now on to my 8 girls, which again, I had a much tougher time with the girls. We'll get right into it. And the first person is someone that I don't 100% think will be back just because of some circumstances going on in her life, but I think she'd have to be asked back. I think she's a circumstance where she would just have to straight up say no because she has to be asked, and that's Vanessa Russo from Big Brother 17. Again, this is more of wishful thinking. I don't necessarily think she's going to come back because she just had, I don't know if she had twins or triplets or what the fuck she just had, but she just had a bunch of kids. So I think people are just assuming that there's no way she'd come back. Again, I don't believe she will. But I don't think it's impossible, and I 100% think that she's going to be asked. She's one of the greatest, you know, strategic minds in Big Brother history, particularly from a female perspective. I would say she was the best, in my opinion. Completely dominated BB17, a lot like Tyler in BB20. She didn't ultimately finish, you know, in first place, but without a doubt, it was her season. She made, you know, so many different moves, so many great moments with her. I don't think she was great in the DR, but just strategy-wise, she was so elite. I would love to see her back for BB17. But again, she is someone that I am more hoping would come back and less thinking she actually will. But again, not impossible. Second person is Devon from BB 17 and 18. Again, another person that I think could be coming back for a 3rd time. Her name's been floated around. Not the biggest fan of her. Don't think she's a great player. But in terms of personality, she's one of the greatest. Absolutely phenomenal in the DR. One of the best females and just contestants in general in the DR. Unbelievably entertaining. Devon, you're not my favorite. Don't think you're a great player. Well, sorry, but wouldn't mind seeing you back because of what you're able to do from an entertainment standpoint. So I think Devon is definitely has a good chance of coming back for a 3rd time. 3rd on the list is one of the most entertaining females in the history of Big Brother, and that's Caitlyn from BB20. Obviously, she goes out in unceremonious, wait. Yeah, no, she was the one. Yeah, no, just kidding. You guys all fucking remember, right? She's the dumbass who couldn't complete the fucking puzzle in BB20. That was one of the most I remember watching that, and I'm like sitting back in my chair, like, what the fuck just happened? Like, that was literally, that contest was set up for her to come back in the house, and she failed to do it. She couldn't put that puzzle together in like 5 fucking minutes. I couldn't believe it. But she was unbelievably entertaining. Not a great player at all, but personality-wise, entertainment-wise, unbelievable. Caitlyn, please come back. We want to see you so bad. Or at least I do. Also, I thought she was kind of hot. Just going to say. She's a little crazy. Thought she was hot. Would love to see her back. Next on the list, we got Nicole from last season. Obviously, really loved in America's Eyes. A good player. Sweet as hell. Would love to see her back. And I think she has a really good chance of being back. I think they're going to want to cast people from the most recent season. Nicole, BB21, back in the house this upcoming summer. I think it's a very strong possibility. Next, we got Angela from BB20. So I don't got much to say other than I didn't like her, don't enjoy her, don't think she was a great player. But Tyler needs to be back if they're going to call it All-Stars 2. And if he comes back, Angela probably has to come back because they're together. There's rumors that Tyler has said he will only play if she's back in the house. So I'm going to assume that she will be back. Fuck. Whatever. Hopefully she goes out early and Tyler stays a long time. Knowing my luck, it'll be the opposite. Next, we got Bailey, who again, like Angela, I wasn't a big fan of. But because I think they're going to bring Swaggy back, I think Bailey will have to come back as well. I don't hate Bailey. I definitely like her more than I like Angela. Obviously you had the great moment with her and Tyler getting in the fight in 20 where she bit her lip or tongue or where the fuck it was. And, she's yelling at Tyler and blood's gushing out of her mouth. That was a really memorable moment. Bailey's I think an average player, but she's really entertaining. She's going to cause drama. There's going to be fights, and she's entertaining on the show. And I think that there's a strong possibility she's back for BB22. And now into the last two people. These are two people that I think people are that I haven't heard hardly anyone talking about at all. And it's two people from BBOTT, and that is the sisters, Morgan and Alex, the Willett sisters. I really loved them on BBOTT. Obviously, Alex, I liked personality-wise. I thought she was a really entertaining character. Obviously, she gets, 7th or 8th? I think it was 8th place. She gets kind of screwed over in BBOTT, if you ask me. She loves the game. She was extremely cute, extremely entertaining. I think she would come back if they ask her. And I would love to see her back. So I got Alex from OTT coming back. And I also got her sister Morgan, the winner of OTT, a very underrated player, if you ask me. I think if she had been on a normal season of Big Brother and won and played the way she had played in OTT, I think she'd be extremely remembered. And I think she would be brought up in all-star returning casts like this. Much more common and much more often as she was in a traditional season of Big Brother. I think, again, she was a really good player. Obviously, she was one of the founders of the Alliance, the Ball Smashers. She wins the show. She beats Jason in the final two, who's another person I wish we could see back. I love Jason. But I think Morgan and Alex coming back in the house would be really awesome to see. Obviously, everyone knows they're sisters at this point. So that kind of, they can't hide behind that anymore. But so fucking what? We got showmances all around the house. Why can't we have two sisters in the house? Two gorgeous sisters. Two sisters, one in which was really entertaining and one of which was a really, really good player. I hope we at least see one of those two, but fuck it, why not both? But all in all, that's my Big Brother 22 all-star cast. This is, again, a combination of who I want to see back and who I think actually could come back. And honestly, for the most part, almost all of them, except maybe one or two, I really think have a strong chance of coming back. And even the one or two that I don't think are as likely as Vanessa and Dan, I still think there is a chance. And because I want to see them so back, or want to see them come back so badly, I'm going to throw them on this list. So, again, there's no one on this list that I don't think has any chance of being here this summer. It's just some I feel like are less likely than others. But all in all, if this was the cast, I would be glued to my television the entire summer. I might just have to quit my fucking job. Just stay at home, just sit there, not do anything but sit on this chair and watch BB All-Stars 2. And I can't wait to see it happen. No matter, if we get a bunch of these names back, if we don't get any of them back, I just can't wait to watch BB22. And I'm just going to be so happy to see it happen, or, see it happen this season and this summer. And I'm sure you guys agree. So comment, like, subscribe. Let me know. Do you agree with people on this list? Do you want to see these people back, or do you not want to see these people back? But thanks for checking in, guys, and I'll be back soon. I'm out.